It's me, Galen. Galen's got Parkinson's. You're looking at me from a funny angle because I'm going to try and show something, and I'm going to have to move the camera around, and I'm really shaky today because of Parkinson's. So I apologise if it's too shaky, but there we go. When you get old, that's the definition of your life. Shake, rattle and roll, which wasn't what it was in the 50s when people talked about that. I've been looking at videos on YouTube about using pens, acrylic paint pens. Not something I've ever done. And I watched a fellow YouTuber who I admire greatly and whose videos I love, I really enjoy. And that's, if you want to find him, and I recommend you do, it's Peachy Tips. If you're in the UK, that will remind you, PG Tips, Peachy Tips. There are lots of people doing YouTube videos, and I'm not decrying them at all. Please find what you fancy. I'm just telling you what I found, and Peach is one of our subscribers, so it seemed nice to give him a bit of a name check. But I like it. And it was his video that made me want to look at the possibility of using these pens, because I think, and this is the crucial thing for our channel, that they might help me with better control for Parkinson's. Like he says, like the 3D colouring in you can hold a pen, and I can probably control the pen better than I control the brush. So that seems logical. Now, I looked at the prices of these things, and I like lovely sets, Army Painter, Citadel, et al. But I didn't know if I even wanted them. And I thought, I don't know what to do. So I had a look on eBay. And on eBay, I found this. Here we go. Right. If that's backwards, it says 168 colours. When I come up here and I open this and I do that, I've got 168 colours in there. Of course, they're not proprietary sort of brand wargame paints, but they do have rather appealing names. They're not the sort of odd specific genre type names that you get in Warhammer and Army Painter. They're just general, but they do sound like they could be quite useful. So we've got, for example, put you down there for a minute, that's the bag. So if I go and up, have a look up here, we've got the warm grey here. That says, that one's warm grey, and we've got bronze, and we've got silver, and we've got chocolate, cool grey, we've got black, Prussian blue, cobalt blue, dark green, forest green, viridian. There's lots, you know, the sorts of colours you think, well, actually, yeah, I could probably use them, but can I? That's the question. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and arrange you somewhere. I'm going to get rid of my big bag. I mean, the bag's impressive, isn't it, just on its own? I'll keep talking. My theory was, what I'd do was use these, and if they work, I will, over time, replace them with actual sort of Citadel-y army paint things that are maybe more in tune with what I'm doing. It's all very smooth again, isn't it, this? I'm a smooth operator. So I'm going to try, this is my first ever attempt at using an acrylic pen. Now, the other thing about these is I've got 168 colours for less than, on eBay, £25. Now, that's with delivery, postage and packing, everything. They're exactly the same as the other pens I've seen. They've got a pointy end, and they've got a wedgy end. Okay. So first thing is dead simple. I've got a cowboy here from my Wild West men, and over time his hat's got really badly biffed. So I'm going to, if you pardon the expression, touch it up. So let's see, move the camera so you can see him. I know you can't see him at the moment. Hang on, give us a sec. Stick him in here. Yep. See him sitting there. There he is. Right, so I'm going to use, well, let's just use the pointy end for now. Okay. Just having a dab on this silver, and it is covering it up. Oh, okay, it's covered it up, and I suppose in a way it's been more convenient at the moment than getting a brush and a pot of paint just to do these little bits. Now that looks okay. It looks okay. Will it last? I don't know. The nib is very, very firm, which I like. I really do like that. See on here we've got some more little bits, and there's a tiny little dot there on that collar. I'm not sure I'd have successfully got to that. And then on his boot here, this is a big bit. How well does that cover? Yeah, that covers actually very well indeed. Oh, I'm rather impressed with that. And here I smudged the base onto his shoe. I wouldn't have dared go back at that with a brush with my Parkinson's. I've got tiny bits here as well. So, as regards, I don't know what Rollo's yapping on about. As regards, what, are you missing out? Don't come and say hello to the boys and girls. Rollo, what's the matter? I might get a delivery. He's good at telling me when deliveries come. Rollo! That's it, where are you? Come and say hello to the boys and girls. Come here. Where's your head? Rollo, where's your dog head? Come up in your little face. Oh. What? He's going now. And he won't be able to get out because he's shut the door behind himself with his big daft nose. But that sort of worked quite well. As yeah, let's touch something up. Right, let's get a bit more dramatic now. So I've got here one of my Dark Age knights, my Arthurian knights. So it's going to be eventually a standard bearer. And I've been struggling with him for a while. I'm going to have a look at his helmet, and again I'm going to use the narrow bit of the black, and I'm going to do it right. Okay, now I can't get any pressure on that. Oops, squidgy squidgy squidge. Right, okay, that's very little effect. So what happens if I, okay, right now, okay, so on when you buy proper pens, expensive-ish or more expensive than this pens, you can squish in the nib, boop, boop, and ink flows. That's not happening with this. This is just a pen. It just does whatever ink is on the pen is what you get. It's like trying to draw on your figure with a felt tip. So I'm not getting the coverage that I might have got or would have got from a proper official pen. That's fair enough. Okay. Well, that's all right. I could buy that because I'm not going to be maybe using them for proper painting. I think I was looking today to see whether or not I actually felt comfortable using them, and I must admit, even though this is hard, because it doesn't deposit a lot of paint, it's actually working to my advantage, because where they where you put a lot of paint on, like with a brush, there's more possibility of making a nasty mistake, which I've not done. There's not a lot of paint on that figure, but I'm quite happy with that. So if I have a look now let's have a look at something. I don't want him in silver. I doubt very much whether there's going to be a gunmetal, but perhaps some other metallic. I've seen bronze earlier on, and orange. I suppose that's the other. Oh, there we go, bronze. Right, bronze. Let's do some sort of bronze on top of that and see whether it even looks anything like, what do you do, the broad thing, bronze. See, do we get an effect that's a bit like maybe dry brushing? Does it even look like bronze? Well, it looks like something. Okay. Right, so yeah, I mean, I don't know how good it is on the video. It is picking up the bronze, and it is over painting. It's going over, so I'm not desperately unhappy with that. I was going to have a look at this elf I've been painting from the old Citadel range, going back to the early 90s. And he, I think, would look maybe, can we, what happens if I try and, oh, it's definitely dulling that edge. That top edge of that blade is getting a different hue. Oh, okay, right, well, so what I've learned is a number of things. I'm going to put the top on my pen. Do that first. You can come back and talk to me over here. So what I've learned is they are not good enough to be like slap, choppy, fast painting replacements for brushes. But if you have got odd bits and bobs you want to just touch up or add to, and you're happy to take your time doing it, perhaps I can see them having a lot of application on vehicles and terrain. Around door frames, you could use the mahogany or the oak. Places where you barrels, vehicle weathering, where you don't want lots of paint, you want little dots and scratches. So I can see that. I am now going to, at some point when I can afford it, invest in a set of the genuine article and see how that works. Now, these I've got, these cheap ones, are never going to replace anything. But I bet using, say, like the luminous yellow or the luminous green, I could put an eye in a lizard as somebody with Parkinson's a lot more easily than I could using a brush. So I'm pleased with me £23.99, 168 colours. I'm glad I've got them, and I am going to use them, but they are never going to be a substitute for formally made by a company acrylic paint pens. and they're certainly not ever going to replace brushes. But I'm glad I did it, and I'm certainly far from disappointed. There you go. That's it for today. For now, I'll talk to you in a bit. Ta-ra, Chuck.